Happy Sunday. This is Lifestyles. Don't forget to hit that share, like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, definitely subscribe to my channel. We talk about everything. We do art, we cook. We just lately have been just really doing a lot of communicating on relationships, things that are going on in the world, because there's a lot of stuff going on every single day. Again, happy Sunday. You are with Lifestyles. Um, what are we talking about tonight? Today is just kind of hot topics, just things that have been going on in the world. We're just touching bases on a few of those things, going to get your opinion on a couple of things, and just want to see how my family's doing. And I hope everybody's health is well, everybody's family is well, and I hope you're doing well yourself. Um, who's out there tonight? Who's wanting to chat with Lifestyles? Let me see. Let me see your face. Let me hear you. Hey, Miss Gwendolyn. Hey, Angela. What's going on? Welcome to Lifestyles. Miss Lynn. Hey, welcome to Lifestyles. Welcome to Lifestyles. George, what's up? Welcome to Lifestyles. Happening? What's happening? Salute, my friend. All right. Um, a lot of stuff going on. There was a shooting out in Colorado. I'd like to send my condolences out to the families and send my prayers. Moment of silence for the victims in Colorado. I am so sick of the tragic deaths from gun violence. I am definitely a gun advocate. I carry a gun. I'm just sick of the people trying to gain notoriety from shootings. It's really getting on my nerves, seriously. What's going on, Shantae? Good to see you. Good vibes, definitely. Hey, Kristen, welcome to Lifestyles. Um, everybody does something for shock value, and killing people, 10 people that didn't do anything but try to go to the grocery store and get things that they needed. It doesn't make any sense that we can't even go anywhere anymore without worrying about being shot and killed. Those people did not ask for that, and I will not say the victim, I mean, the alleged shooter's name, but I will say that he's 21 years old and he used to work in this grocery store, King's grocery store in Colorado. Um, I do know a police officer was shot. I believe his name was Eric Talley. He was shot. I believe he had 7 to 8 children, and would like to send my condolences out to him and his family. Um, Looks like there was another shooting in Virginia Beach and Philadelphia. Um, you know, People do stuff for shock value. Once one person does things, then you got a copycat, then you got another copycat. People are doing so much stuff for attention nowadays that it's kind of weird. Um, you shouldn't kill people for attention to yourself. You shouldn't beat up an old lady because you want to go viral. Everybody in today's society with these Gen X or Gen Z, whatever generation they are looking for so much attention. Everything's about going viral. Whether again, it's beating up an old lady online on TV or on the internet, or smacking somebody, or hitting somebody with a paintball gun, or going so far as shooting and killing somebody. But everybody is doing things for shock value and to go viral and to gain notoriety. But my thing is, you not only are taking innocent victims and innocent lives, but you're also messing your family up and your own life, which I'm sure at 21 years old, this young man had a lot of life to live. But he's not dead. I take it he's going to go to prison. We don't know if he's going to get the death penalty or if that happens. But one thing I am sick of hearing is mental illness. I do understand that mental illness does definitely exist, but everybody isn't crazy. Everybody does not have an mental. Everybody does not have a mental illness. So why do we keep saying that everybody that does a shooting is mentally ill, or that we need to pull back on certain or add certain loopholes to keep people from getting guns? Now, this young man, I think, had just acquired that handgun or those weapons or weapon that day, I believe, or that week. So that doesn't have, hey, Shirley, welcome to Lifestyles. That doesn't have anything to do with a mental illness, but that's what people keep saying. Every time somebody does a shooting, that they're mentally ill. Now, I believe people just snap and do something crazy, but then some people just are crazy. It just varies. This guy could have just been a normal person his whole life, and then all of a sudden the lights went off and he did exactly what he wanted to do. I just don't believe everybody's crazy and that everybody has a mental illness. So we can't keep blaming that, hey Sherry, welcome to Lifestyles. And so that being a defense in his case, so that he can have a lighter sentence. Because a lot of times people are using this for a defense to help themselves keep them from getting the death penalty or whatever. George says he bought the gun 6 days before the shooting. If that doesn't call the gun check and the background checks, I don't know what does. That's what I was saying. They just need to go in with the background checks and things like that. But I don't believe that he was definite that he was mentally ill. Everybody's not mentally ill. That's the one thing that we have to stop saying. That we're wearing that defense out, basically the mentally ill defense, because some people just want to do bad things and are looking for fucking attention. I said it, fucking attention. So stop doing things for attention and shock value when you're taking lives from people. Not only the physicality of taking somebody's a life from them and them feeling pain, but you're also taking the lives from the families that they come from. So we need to stop doing things for shock value. It's utterly ridiculous that somebody has to go out into a grocery store and shoot up more than a few people to gain notoriety, and then somebody go right behind him and do it in another state, and then it goes on and on and on. We definitely should be able to carry guns. Assault rifles, I kind of beg to differ a little bit, but I do believe that you should be able to own as many guns as you want. It's just that what do we need assault rifles for all the time? I don't know. I'm not trying to, because if you say that, then that could lead to probably or maybe trying to take somebody's guns away, period. So I don't know. I think we just need to go with harsher background checks, as George stated, and so that we can prevent people that may need to be checked out a little further from getting a gun immediately. That's my take on that. Um, Georgia, got a lot to talk about with Georgia. We've got some racist Jim Crow things going on. The man in Atlanta said he had a sex addiction. Wow. The man that killed the Asian women, I think at least 4 to 5 Asian women at the, I believe at the I'm sorry, at a gym. Um, Again, he's using a weird defense to keep from saying it was a hate crime. Now, in that case, I believe that that was a hate crime. Whether he would have did it with an assault rifle or a handgun, I believe that that was a hate crime. He's just going to use another defense because he doesn't want to get the time that doing a hate crime would provide. So that's a stupid defense. He has a sex addiction. What does that have to do with killing an Asian woman, or Asian women rather? I'm sorry. And I'd like to send my condolences out to any Asian person that has been assaulted. Nobody deserves to be assaulted for their race. Um, or any other reason, whether it's sexual orientation or whatever. Nobody needs to be assaulted. I do not agree with that. Black people have been going through this thing for over 400 years. So these are the things that we go through on a regular basis, but it is absolutely not right for anyone to assault any Asian American or any Asian person, period. I definitely don't agree with that. So if anybody has any hatred in their heart for anyone, for any race, please get it out of your heart. We're in a melting pot now. Everybody's different, and the world is different, and the world is also changing. So you won't see somebody that looks like you every day, all day. You'll see different kinds of people. So get used to it, please. We don't need hate. Georgia's mayor, I'm sorry, Georgia's governor, Brian Kemp, passed a bill that has totally changed the voting rights of Georgians. And it's really, really crazy. And also locked up a representative of the state, a sworn representative, a black African American woman that was just trying to see, knocking on the door while the governor was signing this bill into law. She was just trying to see why he was doing it behind closed doors. And I see why. He went so far as to cause it to be a misdemeanor to give somebody water or food while they're waiting to vote. Um, you have to have the voting machines have to all be inside certain areas. Certain people that work for the precincts can be hired by the state. Different ways to I definitely IDs. It's definitely preventing minorities and African Americans from possibly being able to vote because of certain restrictions they may have. So I don't understand. It's nothing wrong with being a Republican or a conservative, but this is further than that. This is trying to prevent people to vote. And that's what we all fought. Well, that's what our ancestors and people fought for. John Lewis and people like that fought for us to be able to go out and vote and voice our opinion because we really don't have a voice. The only thing we can do is vote. So for them to prevent the people to vote in Georgia because Stacey Abrams got all those people and turned that state blue. I mean, it just is ridiculous. I mean, this is we've got to do better. Definitely, they definitely can overturn this in the Supreme Court, but there is some other things going on too. So we'll just see what the Supreme Court says, and hopefully they can get it overturned and stand because this can definitely prevent a lot of Georgians from voting, and we just definitely don't want that to happen. Seriously, we should be able to vote. We're all Americans here, and I'm an American, and I deserve my right to vote, and we don't need to pass those kind of egregious bills in different states of the U.S. It's all a way to prevent people from voting in a democratic way, and it's ridiculous. Last story, and then I'm out of here, everybody. So there's an 83-year-old man, Joe Ligon, touched my heart. He did 68 years in prison. Okay. Can you imagine doing 60? Remember when I interviewed Cornelius? And we're going to do Cornelius again because we're going to get him on the computer net. Last time we couldn't get him on. But remember, Cornelius did 41 years. Okay. That's a long time. But can you imagine doing 68 years in prison? Can you imagine that? Well, this gentleman's 83 years old and did 68 years in prison. He went in as a teenager back in 1953. Can you imagine that? Going to prison in 1953 and it has just now been released. He did commit a crime. It was a petty crime, except for somebody was killed. He didn't kill somebody, but he was with a group of teens and they did a robbery and somebody was killed back in those days. Um, he was given uh, he actually was he's the oldest and longest serving juvenile lifer. He was given life for a juvenile, and he's the oldest and longest living from 1953 in February. So he did plead guilty to robbery with four other teen boys, where he was, where again, like I said, somebody was killed. And my condolences to the person that was killed and their family. I'm not excusing that, but to do 68 years in prison is a long time as for a teenager. And I'm sure they said that in a normal court of law now that would just be a manslaughter charge, and he would have probably only got about 5 to 6 years. So 68 years was definitely excessive. He said he could imagine all the big buildings and things like that, but it just is a new world for him because he's never seen that stuff in person. And I believe he does have children. I think he was able to have conjugal visits back in the 60s and 70s because I did see some pictures of some children. So kudos to that gentleman, and hopefully he can live the rest of his days out. He's not on any parole or probation, so that's a good thing. And I definitely don't think he'll be getting in any trouble. So kudos to that gentleman. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Lifestyles with Eric. It's been real. I love to talk to you. I miss everybody. We're going to come up with some more topics. We got some interesting things coming up soon. It's getting warmer, so we'll be outside doing some tutorials and some other stuff, Gwen. So be on the lookout for that. Have a great, blessed week, and I will see you soon, everybody. Love you. Bye-bye. This is Lifestyles. Take care.